welcome to Face Horror Corner. I am here with my co-host, Button. He looks terrified there just because he's not too comfortable with being picked up yet. And today I'm going to be Today we are going to be talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. So, this film was a really good example of what happens when older people try to appeal to millennials and Gen Z, I think. It had good elements. It did. I did enjoy the movie. If I had to give it a star rating, I'd say maybe 3 out of 5. So there was good qualities to it. There was a bit of a forced attempt at political commentary, I think. And for the record, I'm actually cool with political commentary. Social commentary, all that stuff. I think movies are supposed to not have to stick to just one genre, but there's also a level of, I'm sorry if this is distracting, there's also a level of self-awareness that I think filmmakers should have, in which they recognize that perhaps their message is going to come across as forced and not fit in with the scenery of the movie, and so there was tiny examples of that throughout the movie. I'm not talking about the Confederate flag removal part of the movie, because that did make sense. I mean, that would be an issue with people coming in to look at the property, but it was just little things. But like I said, I'm not against social commentary, I'm against forced social commentary. So, it seemed as if they took... my dog shaking his head, his ears are loud. It seemed as if they took things they hear and there and here and there that they thought would appeal to younger people, maybe in an attempt to, I want to say reiterate, but I don't think that's the right word, to try to bring back the series. Maybe they want to make Texas Chainsaw 2023, I don't know. But what they should have done is, instead of trying to appeal to new fans, they should have attempted to stay more with the old fans. And they also clearly were not entirely sure of what direction they wanted the movie to take, because there was things such as where they clearly, and I am a fan of final girls in all my novels, there's always a final girl, it's just how it is, but they clearly watched the new Halloween. And when I was looking through Twitter and stuff about the movie before I saw it, I was like, why is everyone comparing this to the new Halloween movies? I don't see where there's any sort of correlation between the two. Well, there is correlation, because Texas Chainsaw tried to make correlation. They saw how well Laurie Strode was doing. Older Laurie Strode, how everyone likes her, she's such a badass character. And they tried to bring a character who never at all gave off that sort of vibe from the first movie and brought her back. And suddenly now she's this badass old lady with a gun who just coincidentally looks a lot like Laurie Strode. And I saw that and I thought, okay, so that's the direction they're going to take. But then she's useless. Spoiler alert, she's useless. She doesn't really accomplish anything. She was just there almost for marketing. So that was kind of weird, and that felt forced, and like they were going to turn her into Laurie Strode and went, oh, wait, no, that might be a little too much, so they just... I mean, she wasn't entirely useless, but she didn't kill the character. She didn't kill Leatherface, so kind of a letdown. They introduced somebody who seemed like she was going to be the endgame, and then she wasn't. Honestly, a little cringy watching her scenes, considering that she did almost nothing. But on to the good parts of the movie. I'm so sorry for that. That's probably very startling to hear. But my dog he's a bitch. And that's just how it is. But, there's good parts of the movie. I loved the cinematography. I did like Leatherface's new design. I thought it was interesting to make him in a more personable matter, and by that I mean he seemed less like big scary he seemed less like a big scary monster type character and more like a mentally disturbed man who watched somebody he cared about die. So that part was good. The characters were okay. It was obviously forced diversity, not natural diversity, forced diversity, where they tried to take every single archetype they could and just stick it all in there. And that's an issue to an extent, because when you try to be woke for the sake of being woke in something that should be more of a natural feel, not a, oh, we're gonna reiterate this multiple times, like she was in a school shooting, you know, she's got a mullet, like this. Clearly there are people like that, but it was so millennial to the point that it almost seemed like it was trying to insult and make fun of millennials, if that makes any sense whatsoever. As for the horror elements, for the kill elements, over the top, but that's how Texas Chainsaw is. So, going off the horror and the kills, and I loved that scene on the party bus, I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 for the horror. For the plot, 3 out of 5. Maybe a 2.5 if I really get down into it. Not terrible. Cinematography, budget, maybe even 5 out of 5. It was good. It was suspenseful. So, that is my opinion, and everyone has really controversial opinions about this movie. You either love it or you hate it. I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't regret watching it. I don't think they should try to make another one. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have an awesome day or night, and I will catch you all next week. Bye!